Hello, this is a video going over the new addition strategy that your child learned called the written method. The written method is like a stepping stone to the standard algorithm. Here is an example of the standard algorithm. The written method, however, helps students correctly line up the numbers by place value, solve one place value at a time, and regroup. Regrouping is that kind of like that carry over. So if we look at 456 plus 167, and we use that ones place value, we have 6 plus a 7, which equals 13. And we would leave the 3 and carry that 1 over. So we call that regrouping. Here's an example of the written method. Above the line in this equation of 413 plus 135, it looks almost exactly the same as the standard algorithm. However, when we look down below the line, we see that it's split up by the total in the ones, tens, and the hundreds. So because written method really focuses on that place value and making sure students understand what they're adding, whereas in the standard algorithm, we would just kind of go 1 plus 3. In written method, we would say 10 plus 30. So that's why we see it written out like this, to really help students understand why they're adding that. So let's solve this one together. So we have, in the ones place, we have 3 plus the 5 equals 8. And now we move over to the tens place. And we have 10 plus the 30 equals the 40. And they did skip a spot right here, so that way it's easier to solve later on. Now let's move on to the hundreds, and we have not 4 plus 1, but 400 plus 100 equals 500. And since we have all the totals for all three parts, we're going to add it together so we get our sum. So we add it on down, and we get 8 plus 0 equals 8. Move to the next place value. We have that 4 plus the 0 equals the 4. Next place value, we have that 5 and nothing to add it with, so we just bring it on down, and we get 548. I tell the students that the written method will sometimes make these little stairs, so that way it's kind of like a reminder that how it should be neat and organized. So this next written method example uses that regrouping, or what we kind of remember it as carry over. So let's take a look starting at that ones place value, and we have 7 plus the 9, and that equals 16. And we're not going to squeeze over the 16 in this one box. We have to break it apart into the tens and the ones. In 16 we have 6 ones and 1 10. So this is what it should look like. Now we're moving over to the tens place value, and instead of going 5 plus 1, we would say 50 plus the 10 equals the 60. And put 6, 0. Our next place value to work on is the hundreds, and we will go 500 plus 200 equals the 700. So now we see over here that we're going to be adding two numbers together to get our sum down here. So let's find our sum, and we have to add these parts, these totals going on down. So 6 plus 0 equals 6. We'll go on to the next place value with that 1 plus the 6 plus the 0 equals a 7. Next place value we have hundreds. We don't have anything to add with it, so we just bring it on down. And our answer is 776. So again, the phrase we use in our class is 9 or less, let it rest. 10 or more, go next door. So for example, in 16, we left what was in the ones, we took the 10 and we took it next door to the left. So here's that standard algorithm, and this is the strategy your child will be learning later on in the year, after we spend some time on written methods, so that they really understand why we do this regrouping or carry over process. And that concludes this little video. I hope this video was helpful for you to understand the written method. Thank you and have a nice day.